peace, and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the Queen comrades. How are you? What's good? What's going on? Talk to me. As I told you last week, this past weekend, Sunday, that we was going to have this segment without warning, that this was going to pop off. Women only segment, tentatively titled so far, Woman Up. Woman Up. Because that's what we encourage. So sorry, William. This is not the space for you at all. Not this time during the day. Cool Joe. I got the raise up out of here. Soon as I get my queen comrade moderators up in the building, they're going to be on their job. They're going to be on their job. Salute, Joe Dante. Not for you, comrade. You got to roll up out of here. This is the women's only segment. Salute. I see you, E. I see you, Ant. I got to roll up out of here. This is strictly for the Queen comrades. It's Woman Up. As I explained earlier in the week that this was going to pop off. This is for you women. This is for y'all. We're going to get some things right and exact. Yes, women, that's right. Salute. We shall see you later on. Cool Joe. Much appreciate your cooperation. So as soon as we get one of our sister comrades up in here on the moderation, so they can moderate what we doing here, we shall begin. Salute. Peace out, kings. Peace out. I appreciate you stopping by. But you men have to roll. Love my comrade too, but it is not for you. Tamika, you here before class? Appreciate you. What's going on? What you want to throw in the hat or throw up in here before you go to class? Let's see if we can answer something for you before you go to class. Talk about it. Before you have to, go there and get in that study work. And please, let me know where you are and what you're doing. Thank you, Dominique. Salute. Always, when you put in your question, let us know where you from, who you are, and what you do. Salute, Sassy. What's good? That's what we're doing. And I don't know if this is going to be the regular schedule time. We may flip it around based on why are so many black women single? You serious? Why are they single? Brooklyn, New York. Why are they single? Well, why shouldn't they be single? Hey Mo, what up, what up? All you men, again, appreciate you stopping by, but this is only for our queens. Alright? This is only for our queens. Why shouldn't they be single? And when you ask a question like that, we have to be specific when we're talking about what it means to be in a relationship. All right? What it means to claim people. You out of pocket. There ain't no dirty macking. It's called upliftment. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Salute, Mr. Mac. Don't worry about it. You could raise on up. Don't worry about it. Ain't no dirty Mac. It's called nation building. That's what we doing. So if you're a man, you shouldn't be in here. You shouldn't be worrying about it, because that's going to be the working thumbnail. So when you see it come up in your timeline, you know this video isn't for you. If you are a man, it's not for you. It's not for you. So don't get your little tail feathers ruffled. All right? That's just how it is. It ain't about dirty macking. It's about making sure our women are equipped with everything they need to know, because maybe their daddy didn't tell them. Maybe their brother or uncle didn't tell them. Maybe the man that they dealing with didn't tell them. And that's what's holding our people back. A lack of transparency. So to get back to answering my question from Tamika out of Brooklyn, we have to understand the purpose of a relationship and how people relate. What is the purpose? So when you ask why are so many single, and you throw it and say, how come black women? How come black women are single? You have to ask yourself, what was their introduction into how people relate? What is the purpose of relationships? And most people, whether male or female, have no understanding of why they relate, or should allow others into their energy, into their essence. If you have no purpose, or you don't understand your purpose, then when you try to engage with someone else who does not know their purpose, or who have, as many of us, inherited a belief system, right? Inherited something that was passed down to us, and we're just following aimlessly the way we relate to each other. It's toxic. It's confusing. All right? So this is why people are single, especially in a time and space we're living in right now, where we have very limited human connection. We don't know how to relate to each other. We don't relate to each other. We're handing babies. We're in a generation now where babies are handed technology before they're handed a breast or a nipple. So how can they grow up into adults and know how to relate? You understand? If we cannot and haven't been taught how to articulate what's going on inside of us, which makes up our spirit and our mentality, if we haven't been taught that, then when we deal with us and one another physically, we're in for nothing but trauma, misery. You understand? All type of unexpected grief. So if you from that aspect of it, you can be single, you can be married, you could be as complicated, you can have all that, but your relationships are going to be twisted. You ask why so many single. That's why. Right, Tamika? And what else did you say? You're very materialistic. Your credit is good, but your credit has nothing to do with how you relate to people. Your credit has something to do with how you relate to the government. That's how you relate to the government. You're a city worker. You're well educated. All those have nothing to do with how you're going to relate to someone in your energy. All of that is outside of you. Those are different purposes. None of that makes up you. Those are different things. That's a whole different lane. You could be frugal. You understand? Everything you just said has to do with your finances. We are here in this corporation. We are taught, not educated. And when you say well educated, you're talking about by the standards of this government and this society. To be educated is a free thinker. To give education and receive education, because you have went to school and earned degrees to satisfy, right? To satisfy yourself here, to be a good worker, a good employer, or on the higher degrees, to be a good boss, has nothing to do with how you relate in your personal space and energy. All right? And reformed hood chick is not always the best. You got to keep some of that hood in you. When you say reformed hood, we all are hood. Because we have grown in themes where we know absolutely nothing else but being the hood. You can't be reformed hood and you're not wealthy. You don't know how to live on a different scale. You don't know how to acquire that wealth. That's a whole different element there. So I don't care what level of degree you get in their schooling. I don't care how high you go up in corporate America, you're going to always be Tamika the hood chick, because that's how we function. You dig? And there's nothing wrong with it. Salute, Natalie. Thank you for the super chat. All right? There's nothing wrong with that. The hell you see? You think because Trump was raised in a setting where he had wealth and access to millions and billions, that he's not hood, that's a hood nigga because of how he operates. He doesn't think on the terms of wealth. He wasn't in that class. All right? So we went all the way around the corner when we talk about why they single. People are single because they have purposeless living. You have to find your purpose. We have to find our purpose. And when we're in tune with our purpose and not with the expectations on the outside, then we connect and you can grow. But if you just around some ordinary old nigga, your essence is going to push that away from you. You're not going to be able to stand in the energy of filth. And every time you try, you're going to get sick. Every time you make an attempt to go outside of the greatness that you have as a woman, you're going to get sick. And you're going to be able to read that automatically. There's no shutoff for that. Women make that assessment quickly. Quickly. But the frustration, right, of that want, the frustration of not having that shared individual causes most women to slip and deal with some bullshit. So again, I hope I answered that before you went to class. Salute to everyone joining. Again, this is going to be Woman Up. So far, that's the tentative title. Woman Up. Hoes down and out. We don't deal with them. So when y'all hear Woman Up, hoes down and out. We don't mess with that. We rebuild. So men, if you in here, which you shouldn't be, get your little tail feather ruffled. Because I'm giving them transparency. Whatever they need to know, they're going to know. They're going to find out here. Next. Anybody next? Let's go. I see a lot of the queens in there. I only see a couple of the Queen Comrade moderators. I don't know where they at. I don't know what they doing. Salute, mask and gloves. Salute. I love this shirt. Thank you. This shirt is from Liberation Clothing. They sent this to me. And you can see they have one with the male comrades. And this one is, boom. This is all the females. All the Queen Comrades. If you can see it. All right. Sassy from New Jersey. There's such thing as being too independent. Yes. Yes. There is a thing as being too independent. Because we can't do this alone. So, if you are in a space where you believe that you don't have to rely on anyone, for the short term, that is a very, very true belief and way of moving. Because in the short term, we actually don't. But for the long haul, we all have to be responsible to and for each other. And if we're responsible to and for each other, then collectively we can win. Collectively we can win. We can never be in a space where we think that we can do it on our own. we can just throw little blows alone. You understand? But if you're meaning to be independent in your own struggles, right? As far as how you acquire your resources, how you maintain your resources, how you spread energy throughout your family and dealing with yourself. No, there's nothing wrong with being independent. All of us, all soldiers have to know how to operate by ourselves. You have to do it. I operate on my own in the mix of dealing with family, right? With my community and with nation building. I am very independent. I can cook very well. Clean, wash, iron, sew. I do it all independently. So this is the reason why I was able to sustain myself a decade away behind the walls. Because as an independent soldier, I can operate. And at any given time, should I need be, I can be independent again. So there's nothing wrong with being too independent, but that's in the short term. In the long term, it will wear you out because we need each other's energy to keep us moving. We need that other individual as we're charging forward to make sure our back and our sides are protected and covered. Right? Again, our queens, woman up. Hoes down now. They out of here. We womaning up. Building. So as you come in, as you ask your questions, where you from, you dig, and put it out there. All right? Listen. Men, if you in here listening, and again, as a comrade, I'm telling you, this is for women. This is for women. Please, if you're here and you're listening, you're listening. Not disturb, not chime in, none of that. And my women moderators, y'all know what to do. Asha's Joy, where you from? Where you from, Asha? Because this is something that I got into it with, I guess she was a feminist, on Twitter. Why are men less forthcoming with their feelings? Why are men less forthcoming with their feelings? Are you from the town? From E&Y? Oh, excuse me. See, I'm blind. Yeah, you from the town. I know you. Cut it out. Why are men are less forthcoming with their feelings? Because they have never been nurtured. At what point has a man or men been nurtured? Men have always been in a space where they have been ultra aggressive and have been placed in roles where they have no room for emotion, for feelings, for sensitivities. They have not been taught that. They don't know how to articulate that. It is foreign. That is like asking somebody from China national who just got here, to spit some hip hop. They're gonna look at you like, huh? If they never heard it before, they don't even know how to speak English. And you telling them to spit a G-rap verse. It doesn't compute. So men, especially in this space, especially our men, because we're dealing with us, our men have been raised in themes constructed by warmongers. They've been beaten. They've been broke. Do you understand? They've been told not to cry from little. You can be 2 and fall. And what do they say? Don't cry. Shut up. Toughen up. Don't be what? Like a girl, a sissy. So when you go through generations, centuries, millennia, I'm talking about 2 millennia of men not being in touch with that, how can you expect them to do it? It has not been taught at all. And when you look for an example of what a man is, and you've been taught that the man is George Washington, is Abraham Lincoln, is Henry Ford, right? Is Rockefeller. When you've been taught that these are men, John F. Kennedy, when you taught that these are the examples of men, there's no sensitivity in that. These men have killed your man, have lynched your man, have beaten your man, miseducated him, imprisoned him. So what feelings, what sensitivities is he supposed to be able to articulate? How can he be forthcoming with his feelings when he doesn't know it? When that language isn't there? So as a woman, there has to be a point of which that you understand that. But you don't understand it to the space where it's harmful to you, where he's going upside your head and your children's head, and he's self-destructive. You don't understand that. That's what's wrong. You cannot nurture and harbor some savage. So there's a lot of educating that has to go around. Right? Because we are not in a safe space. We're not in a safe space. We don't own this. We're still under attack. So you don't want your man so sensitive, because that's where he is now. Now that others are teaching him how to be sensitive. Others are putting dresses on him. Others are suckling him. Others are nurturing him and showing him how to be sensitive in a Eurocentric mindset. So by the time he looks at you, he hates you. So be careful about what you're asking for. Be careful about that. Forthcoming in his feelings, what you want is a soldier. You want him to be able to manage his rage, his anger, his lust, his desires. You want him to manage that effectively so he can use those as a tools for battle. But he shouldn't see you as the enemy. All right? Next. Woman up. Hose down and out. Woman up. Hose down and out. Asha. It's okay for a mom to nurture her son without feminizing him. Of course. Of course. Women know how to do that naturally. Of course. Women know how to do that naturally. But in order for our women to do it effectively, they have to learn how to read and understand the strategies of our enemies. They have to know how to read and understand that. This way, as she's nurturing him, she's building him up to be a soldier. She's giving him balance. But you can't give him balance if you're putting in him an end goal, right? That is to be like them. If your end goal is to be like them, and you're bringing him up to seek their values, to be the epitome of their morals and of their scholarship, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because they, on those levels, teach him to hate himself and thus hate you. Woman up. Hose down and out. Again, as you come in, Queen Comrades, with your questions, as you come through with your questions, state where you're from, how you doing, what you do, and all female comrade moderators, women moderators, Cash App floating. Keep it floating. Again, brother comrades, this is not your space. This is not your space. So we're in here, sit quietly. Next up. Philly, what's good? Peace, peace. Next up, get a brown girl. Let them be knowing. Let them come through, be knowing. This is a space for the queens. Women up, hose down and out. We don't deal with the whole thoughts and all that. They out of here. We getting that mindset up and out. That's gone. It's a disservice. It's a disservice. So whatever tricks of the trade you have learned, keep them stored and in the back. They'll be useful one day, just not here. All right? Not against us. Until we have a cadre, a national cadre of fighters, of soldiers that are engaged in these consistent battles, and we can utilize y'all hoes, y'all gotta fall back. Gotta fall back. Let's go. Next question. And again, I don't know if this is going to be the regularly scheduled time. All right? It may fluctuate once I, get with my moderating team of Queen Comrades. We'll figure out a nice space and time. But, come on. I had to get to it today. Got to get to it. We don't have time for twerking and over-sexualization. We are at war. Yeah, but it's going to be a good tool. It's going to be a good tool. As we're going to find out in our Saturday night book club in the Wretched of the Earth, they utilize the prostitutes very effectively in their war against the French. So it's going to be a day and time for them. It's just been too much of it right now. Too much of it senselessly. And it has penetrated the psyche of our women from 8 to 80. And purposely for nothing. We have over-sexualized our intellectuals, and that's not good at all. Having ownership and knowledge of your sexuality doesn't mean you display it for the entire world. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. Nobody's trying to control what you do, who you do it with, how many you do it with, where you do it at. No. We ain't trying to control that or tell you how to do that. But for one to purposelessly display it all the time, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. You got grandma twerking. And I don't mean the 40, 50-year-old grandma. I mean 78 grandma. What are we doing? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Keep that under wraps. That's all. We watching you twerk on TikTok for great grandma. For what? For what? Nobody need to know what that mouth do, grandma. No, you and yours. That's it. That's it. So next question. And to be honest, and since we haven't got there yet, since nobody asked yet what needs to be said, I don't care what that mouth or box do. You, as an individual, as a woman, the sexual being, if you don't have a man's head and spirit, I don't care what you do to him sexually. As soon as he's finished, he'll be looking for somebody else. same as with a woman. I tell these men all the time, you can have a woman's body all you want. Give me her soul and her mind, and I don't give a damn what she do with that. Straight up. When I was on some bullshit, I had dudes' wives doing all type of shit. Heard me. Their wives doing all type of shit. And their mind and their soul. So physically, that's a Euro thing, to believe that you can control people physically, right? Because even through chattel slavery, yeah, physically, they dominated, they lynched, they murdered, they raped. But because the mind and the spirit was elsewhere, they survived through it. Ain't nothing you could do to me that I can't do to myself. Nothing. Tell women that all the time. Cheating for a man is never about a lack of love, a lack of wanting to be with you. There's nothing to do with that. That shit is purely undisciplined sex, undisciplined physical push. That's it. That's it. Now, he don't love you. He don't care. He may be a dummy and not understand the threat that he's putting you in, but he may genuinely love you. And I said when we was building the other night, the thing is he slept with her. Y'all always miss that. When they do that shit in Hollywood and soap operas and movies, and the mirror women say, but you slept with her. It's never that you fucked her. It's never that you humped her. The motherfucker woke up with his head on the pillow. You slept with her. I mean, you were vulnerable around her. She could have killed you. You understand? So when you want to follow these Euro values, look deep. Learn their language. So you can stop making your comparisons to them. Because you always want to compare yourself to them when you think you're going to acquire resource or income. But when you see them in their depraved, right, state, you don't want that part. That's how they operate. Their marriage contracts come with a lot of bullshit. They're humping on their own kids and family members and all type of shit. But on the front, on the face, it looks like what? The perfect union. They look like they live in the perfect spaces, with picket fences and all that. But in their walls, it's a lot of bullshit. And as you go up in their upper echelons, you learn that if you listen to the language. But when you're so caught up in the thinking that what we have is not enough, is not worthy, then that's what it is. So our whole way of doing things has to be reset. Again, salute. This is woman's only. Woman up! Woman up! Hoes down and out. Hose down and out. Queens, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. As always, moderators, excellent work. Keep all my information popping. Welcome all our queens as they come through. Queens, that you insert your question. Let me know where you're from. Again, our comrades, our kings, it's not for you. If you're here, you are listening. And if the shoe fits and you don't want it to fit, change it. I did have a few questions that has not been answered. Come on now, Queen, hit me. It probably went through. Ask again. Let's go. Salute, T. Ask again. Queen comrades only. Let's go. Let's go. Let me get to the question. I didn't see it. Let's go. I have to scroll back if I miss something. Who did I miss? Oh God, 1982. What was your question? Queens, what is your take on homeschooling? And do you think it's healthiest choice rather than allowing our children a prison to pipeline? Well, I'll tell you this about homeschooling and where many are going to stumble and fall. Most parents are not educators. Education and educating is a skill. It's a skill set. So if you're not equipped to know exactly how your children learn, then you're going to do a disservice to them. It's not as easy as picking up a book, reading it, and then trying to send it back to them. It's just not. I've been sitting in the pocket with an educator for over 32 years. Every level, from the classroom to the union delegate to the staff, administrative manager, vice principal, to the principal, to soon being a superintendent in the New York City Department of Education. When I tell you teachers are miserable, there are teachers who fail at their job because they do not know how to teach. A parent has absolutely no clue. Is your child an audio learner? Is your child a visual learner? Does your child have dyslexia? All of these things come into play. So because you have a political idea or consciousness of what you deem a fit education, does not mean that you know what to do as a parent. It's just not that simple. I've seen some of the best teachers work. Your job, or our job as parents, should be to enhance whatever they're getting in school by giving them the education that we get as a conscious and woke individual. The question is what they're getting in school, right? Allowing them to be able to provide resource for themselves as an adult. That is the question I always pose to the educators around me, because I learned shit that I don't use at all coming up in the rotary phone era. Now living in the smartphone age, there's shit that's just useless that the children don't even know. Shit we learn that they don't need to. It's useless. So the question becomes, are they being educated for us in order for us to survive? You understand? And then we, as a collective, have to know where it's going to be our push to be resourceful, to pull up out of what we know is an enemy society to us. So as the women have to be in a space to not only nurture and educate, but to set specific goals. All right? So come on. I got room for one more question from the queens. This water is doing what it's supposed to do. And the weather is funny style out here. I'm trying to drink and flush. I don't know if it's something coming off these damn trees, but it is what it is. Again, moderators, let them know exactly what this is. All right? A meetup in BK. I'm not in BK right now. You will have to hit me on IG. And when I get back to the town, we'll see. Definitely 1982. Definitely. Tamika, you sure is throwing it just like this. You sure is throwing out a lot. Tamika trying to get all in for the first session. She trying to get it all in. She like that. I'll be back. She like this. I'm gonna answer all my questions today. Again, it's for the queens. Queens, y'all have my or you know how to reach out via IG or Messenger, whatever. I'm telling you again, questions and any topics. You know, I know about these men. We here. All right. And again, my moderators, Queens, comrades, let's discuss whether this is a good day and time. All right? By way of Chicago, Chi-Town, salute. Keep your heads solid inside in the Chi. Be safe. Be very safe out there. If there's nothing else, Queens, don't be shy. Be shy at all. This is y'all space. Y'all safe here. You know? And if your man is here, so what? He might need some straightening out. All right, 1982, salute, salute. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. And questioning. Bernadette, I didn't even know you was in the spotty spot. You just hit me. I got to go. Y'all always got to run. Always got to run. I didn't even know you was in the spotty spot. She out. I got to run. You just sneaking. You ain't ask a question the first, but you out of here. I tell you. Yes, and please share. Definitely, we need to build our tribe. Oh, you just tuned in. All right. You know. I'm going to get you. You know? Carlos, salute. Much appreciated. Much apprecited. Share. I see a lot of little clown things going viral. It's like, come on. That's right. Be feminine but dangerous. You definitely some of the fiercest warriors we ever had and have are queens. But we got to get them back. If they not on our hips with us, we done. So this is their space. All questions get answered here. Don't be shy, queens, because ain't nobody else going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. So you can't never say, I ain't had nobody tell me nothing. You know? If you think about doing panels and having folks come on live, no, that's not me. A lot of people that do that, that's not me. I'm on other people panels. I'm not the host. I'm shit. It took me forever just to do this. I was speaking with the comrade for 4 years. I was, working in the streets doing what I had to do to cure gun violence and curb gun violence. You understand? So I only started using social media to, because nobody else was doing it. In all reality, people were just lying and stunting. I couldn't. So need some truth, You dig? So no, I've been on plenty platforms. They just don't have me back. The comrade is the only one who allows me to share his space and is not afraid. That's it. But as far as me going and paying for Zoom and then sitting and Zoom and, you don't understand. That's a lot of work. A lot. And by trade, again, I'm an anger management specialist, domestic violence counselor, parenting skills, all that. I have hour and a half long sessions. Make an attempt to get into the communities and really be on the ground working. To sit here and email this one and email that one and this one has to be scheduled. I'm not the host. I'll sit down. I'll sit down with anyone, but, you know, they're fearful. Because I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to let anybody lie to you. I'm not going to let them lie to you. We lose. We lose when we chase false goals. We lose when we look at fake enemies. We lose when we find ourselves dogging behind false narratives. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm not sitting in and going back and forth and trying to Y'all want me? I'm here. Y'all want me to be with others? Get them and tell them to invite me. I guarantee you, after they watch a few of my vids, because they got bullshit with them. They want to get in y'all bag. You're not trying to mess with me at all. Anything they following is dated. That shit is old. Shit ain't work. Shit needs to be tweaked. I don't care what kind of funny hat they put on or what kind of funny ass dashiki or charms or shells or rocks around their wrists. That shit is dated. That shit, get that shit out of here. We have time for all that after we defeat our enemy. We ain't did that shit yet. Don't run from that. We at war. You can't duck and dodge. We cannot run from that. Natalie, do you think that reality TV is ruining how we treat each other? Most definitely. Most definitely. Media, period. Media, period. Because you got everybody and anybody with absolutely no scholarship, some mentally off, borderline retarded, speaking matter of fact about concrete issues. You have people who are sick. I mean, sick, that are going through abuse, that are abusing others, given a platform and the attention for others, to make an assessment on how they live their lives. If you stood in the room, in the space where these people actually are, you'll be surprised. 95% of those people on hip-hop reality shows, on those wives reality shows, are retarded. 30% of them are borderline autistic. But because they can be sexualized and dressed up in a specific way, they threw them in front of y'all. So for the last decade and a half, society's been force-fed this bullshit. I mean, literally, retarded. No, he thinks I'm a fine face. Because I got the fat ass. What's she talking about? She hating on me. And people look at that shit and strive to be that. Are you serious? You serious? Hoes down and out have been elevated to a global audience. And you asking, has that hurt us? That harmed us in all ways possible. Sit in the room with them. Sit in the room with any of them. You can pick anyone. Pick Jessica Dime. Any of them. any of them from Atlanta, Miami, any of them, and ask to see their educational records. From elementary school, from grade school. We already know if they're hip-hop based, majority of them didn't finish high school and got some type of criminal background. And even in that criminal background, didn't seek to get any type of general education or adult equivalency degree. None of that. Straight from there, back to the strict clubs or the street, and then thrown in front of the world, making matter-of-fact statements about who we are. And has that hurt us? Shit. That shit set us back. Salute, princess. Salute, salute. Set us back. Decades. And from the beginning, from the inception of it, especially when you look at Atlanta, every one of them had a sex tape, were a hoe or pimp, or was in that lifestyle. That's how they was chosen. Every single one of them was a hoe, currently a hoe, had some type of ritual video or charge that had to do with some type of sexual depravity. All of them. And they let it balloon and flourish. Every one of them. You think that was by accident? No. Because initially it was only for New York. Initially it was just for New York. It was just something that was New York. And then, I don't know if they sold it or if she stole it from the original people who put that together. And it was off and running. And they pushed it and pushed it and then add layers to it. The small hats that own the housewives chain made sure they got the worst of the worst of those who were in specific levels of society and positioning. And they continue to get it. Look how they had melanated doctors and professionals acting. Dentists, GYNs, lawyers. People who others thought was the best of the best and the cream of the crop. And reduced them to thoughts. And all of them. I don't care what sorority, what fraternity, what degree they had. They was on those shows. They reduced them to tits and ass. And individuals who had not one speck of consciousness or awareness. You never seen none of that on none of those shows. Not once. So it has set us back, shit, at least 30 years from a intellectual point. So again, to go back to the first question, why are so many black women single? You haven't been taught your purpose when it comes to relations and how we relate to each other. You don't even understand that I have a relationship with you, with my viewership. There's a relationship there. There's a trust there. There's a love there. There's a consciousness there. I wake up from sleeping, from resting, thinking about my tribe, how to better service them. That's a relationship. So when you have people in front of you, in front of a camera, on a television, on a movie screen, that don't have a relationship with you, they're harming you. They're raping you. They're raping your attention, your mind. Of course. Malcolm told us that the media will fuck you up. Alright? But look, see, this is gone. And that is it. I gotta go do what I have to do. And, you know, it's only 3 o'clock, so I'm sure I done spoke to the comrade twice. I'm sure we might get something in today. But, Queen Comrades, woman up! Hoes down and out. Y'all hit me with y'all DMs. Get them topics up. Remember, this is a safe space. If the men are peeking in, they peeking in. If they get their ruffles or their feathers ruffled, so be it. If the goddamn grippers in the fit, because we speaking straight, let me know what y'all want to know. If a man having them issues and he not doing what he's supposed to, come on, this is the space for it. Ask. I shall tell you. Alright? No salute. Peace and power. Appreciation to all moderators. The men who was in here sneaking in too. Appreciate y'all, LG and all y'all. Yeah, salute Ma, all y'all. Remember, we respect and we uplift and we encourage our women. We ain't on no Euro hating shit. That's what they do to theirs. We don't do that. Alright? And I shall see y'all later on. Remember, don't believe in me, believe in my belief in you. Peace.